Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV, joined by the dental hygienist himself, Mr. Edward Hearn. You honestly look... That is the worst I've seen you. You look as if you're just about to come in and clean someone's teeth.
Mate, what are you talking about? Dolce & Gabbana. Like the show. Listen, these are real glasses. My eyesight's shot to pieces, and I've got to start wearing them because I'm squinting at the screen, and they're always sore and dry. So this is like potentially a little bit of a nude.
Do you understand why I'm saying dental hygienist though? Can you see it yourself?
Mate,
be honest with me.
Like, imagine you went to the dentist and I came through the door. You'd be going, "Who's this dental hygienist? He's unbelievable." Anyway, you've only got 5 minutes with me.
Let's go quick.
Firstly, you've got to apologise for your breaking news that is just like...
Okay, so let me just clarify. I wrote that it was happening on my Twitter. The IFL socials team then said the date was set. The contact that I had, which is a really good source, and I've showed you the receipts privately, which you think maybe might have just been to fill my head with rubbish for another reason, which I'll get to in a second. I just went based on what that person told me, and that person's very, very in the know with certain promotions. Now, we've just seen Boxing Scene put out a tweet and an article to say Zepeda and SHAKUR has been verbally agreed for the Riyadh season card, Beevil and Better BF. Can you confirm or deny that?
I'm not saying anything, to be honest with you, because I've learned that the less I say, the better.
You can give us a bit of an idea of that. Is that a fight you would like on that undercard?
Oh, of course. I mean, look, it's not my undercard. It's not my show. It's a Riyadh season event. Obviously, I'm in talks with SHAKUR STEVENSON. It's a great fight. Bivol Better. It's another incredible night of boxing in Riyadh. And yeah, if that got added to the card, it would be absolutely spectacular.
Well, I apologise for potentially jumping the gun, but as you've seen, there was receipts, so...
I think people are just using you.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Eddie, we'll move on quickly. PROGRAIS. Didn't want to break that news yesterday, actually, because I wasn't 100% certain of it. So, yeah, but obviously we've recently found out that it is postponed. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so Jack picked up an injury. Unfortunately, he won't be ready for the August 24th date. So we'll be announcing that later on today. Rescheduling the fight, and there'll be an announcement shortly as to the new date.
So, first question is, what happens? The full card just moves to a new date, likely in October?
I mean, sometimes you try and save the show, but, CATTERALL PROGRAIS is doing well. It's a big fight, so we want to reschedule it. And the fights will probably be moved elsewhere. Namely, first off the bat will be Terry Harper against Rhiannon Dixon, which is a big fight. That's now going to be moved to Sheffield for the Dalton Smith card. And the other fights on the card will be moved accordingly.
Does CATTERALL PROGRAIS still go at the same arena?
Yes, that's absolutely the plan. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we have to look at dates, but the plan is to start at the Co-op. It's disappointing that, unfortunately, the injury was suffered, but we would love to stay at the same arena, yeah.
I do need to ask this because it looks as if maybe UK boxing's fallen a little to the wayside. Are you a bit, not concerned, but there's, one show, Fisher-Babbage, in potentially 3 months in the UK. Is that a problem, Eddie, or are you looking at another, UK city for the 24th?
I mean, obviously, August 24th was a huge fight. It was a great fight. Unfortunately, when someone gets injured, there's not a lot you can do about it. So we're looking at options for August. Obviously, September, we're already with Dalton Smith in Sheffield. You've also got the small matter of 100,000 people at Wembley Stadium for Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois. So I think British boxing has got a lot to look forward to. But we've also got some big fights to announce in October and November, some big all-British fights as well. So disappointing. Like, there's nothing, obviously, if Jack doesn't get injured, everyone's buzzing. We've got a massive fight in August leading into Wembley, but unfortunately things happen.
Who's the likely UK headliners for the tail end of the year, Eddie?
I don't want to tell you because it will be too obvious as to the fight that I'm going to make, but it's an all-British fight, hopefully a World Championship fight as well. It's a cracker. That's one fight. There's also another all-British fight that we're working on at the moment, which is a big arena fight. And obviously potentially a fight out in Belfast as well.
Talking a little bit about that, Crocker Donovan, is it going to happen? Billy Nelson suggested to me yesterday that Donovan's been offered it and he said no. Any truth to that?
Obviously there's talks about the location. We would like to make that fight. We have an obligation to Lewis Crocker and to Paddy Donovan. So yeah, it's a massive fight and we would like to make it.
Do you need Boston Ishmael Davis? Is it going to happen?
I want to make that fight, yeah. I've told Tom Dallas to start negotiations, and I'm willing to, you know, obviously there's a value always to an undercard fight, but it's a big fight for that undercard. You know, if we can do Dalton Smith against Fernandez for the European, Terry Harper against Rhiannon Dixon, Ishmael Davis against Janae Boston, then you start building a fantastic night of boxing, and that's what we want to do. So if everyone's sensible, and that doesn't mean just taking, you know, money, then we can get the fight made.
Diego Pacheco undercard, we haven't really heard much about it. What's going to land on that?
It will be announced this week.
Definitely going ahead. The show's going ahead. And
Oh, yeah, August 31st, yeah.
any UK fighters on that undercard?
Yes, there will be, actually.
Can you give us an idea, sir?
No, it's a British champion.
Eddie, you said in an interview with Parsons that it would be good to get on the ground in LA early. Some big fights, potential new signings. Can you give us an idea as to what that would be?
What are you talking about?
When you were speaking to Parsons, you said it would be good to get on the ground in LA, get some signings in LA, and kind of.
Yeah, no, I mean, already I think we've made one massive fight this week, which will be announced soon. Signings-wise, I mean, all of our guys are coming in. Obviously, we've got Canelo Belanga's just been announced. The press conference for that will be next Monday and Tuesday, I believe. All of our fighters coming into town, non-stop talk, negotiations, whatever it wants to be, and yeah, go from there.
Richardson Hitchens tweeted October in New York. Are you planning a show in October in New York, and who's a potential opponent?
We are planning a show in October with Richardson Hitchens. It may not be New York, but it will be East Coast. But yes, we will be headlining with Richardson Hitchens in October.
Last one for me, your push for time. Jarrell Miller and Andy Ruiz both made comments about AJ yesterday. They said that you're protecting him. They said that he also hasn't had any tough fights recently. He's been matched really well. Just your response to that?
I think, you know, the Ngannou stuff after the fact, everyone wants to say that was an easy fight. Tyson Fury didn't quite see it that way, did he? The Otto Wilding was a very tough fight. He just beat Gassiev in Russia. Like, he's a good fighter. AJ demolished him. That was a great win, and the way that he did it. So Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Miller just want to concentrate on themselves on Saturday night, because they're well off the pace at the moment in terms of fighting for a world title. So good luck to both of them. AJ's now facing Daniel Dubois, who's on a massive winning streak. He stopped Jarrell Miller, who said the same thing. So, like, you know, Jarrell Miller says, we're protecting AJ. He's fighting the guy that stopped you. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's a real fight, tough fight. AJ will fight anyone, and hopefully become world champion September 21st. Out of your push for time. Appreciate it, mate. Catch you again soon.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.